Hi friends, I have a little quick tip for you today when you're making your leaves. So use some just damp water or another color to kind of join in next to your leaves. Let me show you what I mean. So I'm going to go into my brown here and let's just create a few stems. So just damp, this doesn't need to be crazy wet. And now wash my brush, tap it off, and let's go into some green here. I'm going to go for this bright green. All right, point, press. You guys already know this part, so fun. Point, press, point, press. So there we've got a little stem. Let's just add in, touch in a bit of brown there. Okay, and now take a light green. So I've got some light green here. This is the yellow green in my laying palette, and go right up against this leaf while it's wet. So point, press, and now let that blend together. We can even go next to it with another green. Let's just go for our sap green. Tap, tap, tap. And let's touch in right here. So let's say we have a branch coming out here, stem, point, press, and really let these merge and play together. Point, press. Look how pretty, look how interesting. Point, press, we're gonna kind of do this again. Point, press, and I'm leaving some white space in there. And now let's go next to that with that light green again. Point, press. Ooh, look how pretty. Point, press. See how beautiful that is? Let's do it again here. We're going to go into, let's go into a dark green. You could use hooker's green. You could use olive green. Point, press, and then kind of pulling it out with the tip of my brush. Let's do one right here. A little bit more water. Tap, tap, tap. Point, press. Look at how these are all blending so pretty. Then I'll just wash my brush, pick up some of the light green, and I'm working kind of fast here because you want these to blend, and I'm going to hold this up and show you. So let's do one right here. Point, press, pick up some more, point, press. And again, I know I'm leaving that white space in between, but look how beautiful. I'm going to add just a bit of brown to all of these. Oh my gosh, look how pretty, you guys. And then how about we add, since we're using green, let's add some red berries, because red and green are opposite, so it's really gonna pop. Let's add some right here. And we're gonna apply kind of the same technique. So I'm using the tip of my brush and the side, kind of a little swirl. And maybe leave a little white opening. Now I'm gonna rinse my brush pretty well, maybe pick up just the smallest touch of yellow. And let's go next to these. Point, press, and look at that. Isn't that fun? Let's do it again right here. So we'll start with the red, a bit of the side of my brush, point, press. Now I wash my brush, maybe put a little bit of yellow on my brush, tap, 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 and let's go right next to it. Point, press, and I'm kind of running into the side of that red berry. So we could do another one here, point, press, and just like with the leaves, it's pulling the color next to it. Now I'm going to go in with some brown, tap, 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 and tap in there. Right here, tapping in. So we're getting a little bit of blue. bleed. So fun to create these bleeds. I'll tell you, watch my beginners playlist with water control because it's going to really help you here. Let's just do a couple more little berries here. Like that, like they're just kind of peeking out. Maybe one up here. Kind of going in a zigzag type motion because that's so interesting. Rinse my brush off, and you can add just a tiny bit of yellow and maybe just the side of that berry. Again, letting them bleed. Look how pretty. So I hope that helps. Give it a try, and I will see you all soon.